Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here. I don't know if I want to call this a Auntie Say Is It So, a rant, a review, what I want to call it. But let's talk about Gerry and the Golden Bachelor season finale. All right, okay, let's do it.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up. Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lives, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody, and this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family, one of the best families on the YT. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. So I was under the weather, had a lot going on yesterday, so I was not able to make it out. Actually took off today because I was like, okay, I got to get myself together. I had to do me some airborne, some elderberry, some vitamins. Like I had, yeah, y'all, okay, because the sister ain't got time to be down and up on her back. Season's greetings. It's December 1st. Okay, mortgage. Yes, mortgages and all of that kind of stuff. But I am just so glad to be back. I'm hoping you all have had a great day and that you make the best out of this Friday. Thank you all so much for being here with me, y'all. Okay. So, honey, this season finale of The Golden Bachelor did not disappoint. They had all the girls in the building, like all the girls was in the building, and the families, friends, everything. And they slow walked us through this process. Let me tell you something. I know that Gerry does not mean to, child, he just old and don't know what he doing. But I'm telling you right now, the way that he handled Leslie could be honorable in one way and not in the other. I just was really devastated by the events. I don't know how y'all felt about it, but I was like really, I feel like I'm sitting right up on this thing. Let me push some of this stuff back on my desk. What's back there? There we go. So let's just get into it as we get into it. So, of course, we know that Gerry was down to two final women, Leslie and Teresa. And so we saw, Teresa as she came in with the family and she met the girls. And prior to that, the episode before that, right before our Thanksgiving break, let me bring you up. Let me drop the link down there for you, boo, because we got to talk about this. Oh my God, that's our resident expert on board. I know y'all don't have the thumbnails like I usually put up there, but I was like, the hour's getting late and it's getting late. So I ain't have a time to be putting up no thumbnail. I needed to just come on out here and talk to y'all about this. But we had known that, at first Teresa wasn't on his radar and he was all about Leslie. And then all of a sudden, Teresa got on his radar, after they spent the night together. And they even cackled about it and joked about it on the sofa. Because she was like, yeah, Gerry, what did change? And, she was like, I knocked his socks off of his boots or whatever. Girl, no, you didn't. Anyway, after, and Teresa came first and she met the girls and they was asking her, whether or not if he was to propose to her, would she say yes? And she was like, absolutely, and all of that. So she had an opportunity to be with him afterwards, right? It seems like, they really did like her and all of that kind of stuff, right? Hey, Dana.
Hey, I got my didn't think you was coming on tonight, so I wasn't ready for you.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna recap and then you can, just jump in. But he basically was telling her, you got a lot going on and your mic picking it up. So, he basically, was telling Teresa that unless he was 100% sure that this is the relationship he wanted to be in and that he was going to propose to her, he wouldn't. Because she had brought up the fact that she knew, Pam, be ready. Be ready. Sister Wives is after this. I don't know how late it is for you, but Sister Wives is after this. So anyway, stay focused, Auntie. I just saw Pam jump in. So Teresa was like, I know you got this other woman. So the next day, the family met with Leslie. It was strange to me that when they met with Leslie, they showed Leslie basically having a conversation with the grandkids and not with the kids. And I knew then that some was off. Because with Teresa, they let us see what the daughter said to him. Matter of fact, the other daughter looked just like him with a wig on. But with Leslie, we only got to see her conversation with the granddaughters. And so directly afterwards, he was kind of like rushing off. He was real uncomfortable and all of that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my God, is Leslie picking this shit up? And so, of course, Leslie was. And when he came to the house or to the hotel room, she was like, you was off. So he was trying to say to her that he was off because he had a big decision to make. But like he said, the two of them had a rhythm. I noticed that when he described Teresa to his daughters, he described her really like her personality and stuff like that. But when he described Leslie, he was just like, she makes me laugh. And I said, he's minimized his relationship with Leslie, right? So the house and everything, to the thing, he was real awkward, dry. And when she was telling him how much she loved him, he wasn't reciprocating it. Now, mind you, he didn't told her in the past, you're my girl. I think you're the one and all of this. They spent the night together in the suite. And now all of a sudden, he's feeling this kind of way about you missed it, JB. I'm talking about the individual ones. I didn't. Okay, Auntie, don't look at comments. So anyway, needless to say, when he left out, the guilt of what he had done with Leslie was eating him up. So he came back to the room. And she had already picked it up that this wasn't happening. This motherfucker was making all kinds of promises to her behind the scenes. All kinds of promises. She said she was 100% sure that she was the one. And when she had the conversation with him, he tried to backpedal and say, no, I had just made a decision or whatever. And I liked the way that she had captured, how she felt about it. Hold on, let me bring it up. Dana, you could jump in. Hold on. I'm just going to bring this up real quick.
You bringing up the caption like I guess, are you bringing up when she told him, I don't care, I don't give a,
He he was trying to tell her, she was like, this is, you could have told me this. You made all these promises to me, etc., etc. She said, you said things to me that made me think that this was going to be it. You led me down a path and then you took a turn and left me there. And that's how I feel. It's mind boggling, to be honest. How can you talk to me all night, tell me you love me, and then one day, not even a day, 12 hours later, you change your mind? And she
yeah.
said, the other night you made it sound like you chose me. And he was like, well, no, I was resting or whatever. And she was like, no, this what we not gonna do.
Because that's the
She
same thing
said,
he
you
did to Faith.
lied to me. You flat out lied to me.
Yes, that's the same thing he did to Faith. Isn't that not the same thing he did to Faith? He left Leslie the same way he left Faith. And you could tell when Teresa came in, it was a whole dynamic. I mean, it was almost like Teresa was part of the family.
That's what I'm saying, because even though we know, let me make sure I clear it up, because I see people just stay on my every word. Even though we know Leslie talked to everybody, the daughters and the granddaughters. The bulk of her conversation was with the granddaughters.
Was with
Not
the kids.
They didn't show, at least I don't remember, Teresa having a one-on-one or a two-on-one with the granddaughters. They show her mostly talking to the daughters. And she did already seem like family. It was almost like they knew her. You understand what I'm
Because the grandkids said, well, Leslie, can we talk to you?
Yes.
They pulled her away and they kind of, I mean, because she sat down and they kind of had that kind of, it was more like a jovial, joking around and comical. It wasn't like more of the serious talk
Yeah, like I
like he
really
had
want
with
to get
Teresa.
right. Like I really want to get into who you are as a person. It was almost like they had already written Leslie off. In my opinion, it was just protocol. Okay, let's
Yeah.
just go through this. This is what we're supposed to do. So, thank you for the interview. Even though you didn't already pick the candidate.
Yeah, it was like she was nervous. Let's calm her down. Let's laugh. She can go out here and meet the grandkids, and then they'll calm her down. We're gonna stay inside and have this adult talk. It was sad, but I am glad that they gave Leslie time to get her feelings out.
You talking about
Because
on the reunion?
I'm talking about when she was in there, and I'm glad she actually told why when they went back to her suite, when he knocked on the door. I'm glad she picked up, and I'm glad she was honest with her feelings. And it was, to me, it was just women's intuition, a woman's intuition,
It
what
was.
she was feeling. And I'm glad she did not let them back her down off of her feelings and let them cut to commercial and play like it's all in her head. I'm glad she told him, I'm not, something's wrong. I'm not feeling something, because when he said, oh, are you ready to go? I guess I'll see you tonight. After she met the family and he walked her out to the car, it was almost like it was almost like he was treating her like he was cheating on Teresa. Like, let me hurry up and get her out the way. Let me hurry up and get her
Yeah.
gone
And
before my girlfriend comes back.
And the New York Post is reporting that he lied and said that he's just a liar. Okay, we're just gonna call a thing a thing. You 7, you know how to articulate your feelings. You this grown ass man dating 25 different women. We're not going to give you an excuse and say you didn't know and this was overwhelming. No, fuck that. Like Leslie said, you flat out lied to me. when she sat on the chair, she said he made many promises to her. She said, I ain't gonna put it out here on the street. But when she was in the suite, I mean, talking to him, she was like, this is embarrassing. You doing this on national television. And then when she was like, I feel like love doesn't pick me, he was like, no, don't say that. She said, no offense, but I can say the fuck I want to say. And I just was like, you go, girl. But even the audience was devastated at his coldness. You're right. It's up to him to pick Teresa. He could pick Teresa, right? Okay, that's who he picked. We good with it. But the coldness.
I was wanting him to tell her, be honest, tell her, because he knew. He tried to make it like he didn't know. It was just, I just had a feeling. I just knew it was one woman. No, she's asking you, be honest. Tell her exactly when you knew. She was asking him, tell me what it is about me that what made it. That's all she wanted to know. And he couldn't even tell her that, because he, like I said, Gerry be sweet talking these women behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He been sweet talking behind the, you my girl, I love you. And then in the comments, people be, well, he just, it's okay to love more than one person. No, because y'all see what the end result was. Somebody was going to get hurt. We know that somebody was going to get hurt. It was either going to be Teresa or it was going to be Faith. But it didn't have to get hurt like this.
What you mean, Faith? Her name is Faith.
I mean, no, not Faith. It didn't have to be. It was going to be Teresa. Or it was going to be. It was going to be Leslie. We knew somebody was going to be hurt. It was just.
It was all the side. It was all the side deals he did with her.
That's what I'm saying. It was
side deals, the gaslighting, the love bombing.
Because why would she? He told her something. Why would she write wedding vows? Why would she go buy a dress? Why would she do
$1,000 dress?
Why would she do all of this if he just told her, we just gonna wait and see? Yeah. And at what point, all she wanted to know was right. At what point did he know?
Crazies out there that'll boil a rabbit in a pot. But for the
I just want to know
she was very sound, and the thing about it is you can choose, you can do what you want to do. But she was like, okay, what about all of that? You lied to me. She said, so all of that stuff you said was a lie. And he was kind of tongue-tied. No, she said, no, you lied.
And all he did was try to calm her down. No. I thought.
No offense, but I could say the fuck. I could think what the fuck I want to think.
You know, he still wanted to look like the good guy all the way. Calm. No, that's not what I mean. I really had these feelings. He didn't know which way to go because he knew exactly what he did. He was playing both ends, burning both ends of the candle, and then he make it seem like one woman just did more. I just had this one, and she was just trying to tell him, what was it? When did you know that it was not me?
And at what point? Online, you will see the blue dress that they had already taken a picture of her in. You know, remember she was saying a $60,000 dress?
Color of their eyes.
Huh?
She said it was the blue, the color of our eyes, or your eyes, or our eyes, or something like that. So she knew, she thought she was gonna get married.
Yeah.
She had. And which, I mean, and she, he knew. That's why he was. As soon as she kept looking at him, and then I'm gonna have to go now. I mean, like I said, you can't tell me. A woman's intuition is everything. So if we didn't get anything out of this episode or this show, it was women. Go with your gut. Go with your gut.
Right in your instinct. And she was like, I became vulnerable. She said, because I thought you was a man of integrity. So the words that you said to me had weight. And I believed them because I believed that you was such a man of integrity that you would not lie.
Well,
she was like, I wouldn't have put my guard down had I thought you was a lying mother. You know what I'm saying? But people who love bomb and do all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, when did it turn with Teresa?
Right. He wouldn't say that.
With Teresa on that night. We saw it for ourselves.
So I'm now thinking, well, did he sleep with both of them?
I think so. I think that what Leslie did not say in trying to keep her dignity and his, She slept with him. I'm sure she did. Because she said all those promises you made when we was together in the suite.
Yeah, I mean,
But this is what
it's
people do all the time, men and women. They do this kind of stuff all the time. But the thing about it is, it's like I ain't really want Teresa for him. But guys, maybe Teresa is in one form. Of course, for all of you all who don't know, they are going to be having a wedding special on January. Is it the 4th or the 14th?
it's the 4th.
January
It's
the 4th, after the new year, they're going to be having their wedding special. They're going to be getting married in Italy.
Well, no, I think they're getting married, but did they say they're getting married in Italy, or are they going? Are they going to give them the show? Because they gave them a package, like a okay. Because I know the show was giving them like a trip to Italy, but you know what
they married at.
But they didn't even announce like a senior, another like a the next. So I said, well,
but
I guess they not.
Go ahead.
I said, so maybe they're not going to do it, or they're just going to wait, or what? They're not going to announce it, or what you think?
They're not going to announce what? The next Bachelor, Golden Bachelorette?
Yeah.
I guess not. And I'm going to tell you what I thought was also offensive. When she sat there on that set with him, and he brought up the other two women. Bitch, we're not talking about you having to say no to these women and send these women home. We're talking about me. Remember, he brought up the other two, and he was like,
yeah,
for me to send people home.
Faith and Ellen.
Faith and Ellen. Bitch, ain't nobody asked you about them. We're talking about me.
And they kept cutting to Ellen. And Ellen looked like she rolled her eyes. Ellen looked like she
did. The audience responses was devastating.
Yeah, and I kept thinking, who was this one girl that looked, the one back there? It was one girl, little young girl they kept showing. I'm like, why do they keep showing this girl?
Bachelorette.
No, not this one, not the little heavy one with the lavender pants on and a hair back, pulled back with a headband on. She wasn't nothing. I don't think she was no bachelorette, no contestant. She didn't look like she was.
Bunch of them was already previous bachelorette.
Yeah, but this one, I don't think she was. Like I said, she was on the end cap, and she didn't fit the build of a bachelorette.
Go back and look, because I'm telling you, most of the ones that they showed was ex-bachelorettes.
Yeah, but this one, I think she was. I'm not gonna say she was heavier set, but she was heavier set.
They was really. I think that people was devastated with the way he was, and it's so bad because it doesn't really make you happy for him and Teresa.
Yeah, but like I said, and then what made me also mad was he kept using the one lady, the one contestant who told him to go up, to go find the woman
he can't live with.
He kept using that like that was his own words. I'm like, you stole that.
Wasn't he?
You act like that was your original, like that was, you kept using this woman's thought and her.
Right, like he came on the set with that in his mind.
Yeah, so
one of the women told you that, and I think that that was Alan. I could have sworn that was Alan.
No, it was the one who she left because she had that thing on her leg, but they kept showing her. I can't think of her name, but it wasn't Ellen. It was she left because she had that brace on her leg.
Blonde hair.
Yeah.
April?
No, I no, I thought April was the one. To me looked like April reminded me of Erica Kane. It was the other, I can't think of her name. Oh, I can't think of her name, but I know her face. But I remember her face because she did tell him that he needs to pick a woman, not that he can live without, one that he can wake up to every day, or
one that he cannot live without.
Yeah, so
he can live with one that
he can. Okay. Yeah, so he's been using that line like like that's
like he invented that.
Yeah, so that was his mantra for.
I didn't even watch him propose to Teresa. I know that was ignorant of me, but I fast forwarded through it.
Well, the way he did it, it was almost like he was trying to give her a heart attack, kind of like, well, it was almost, because I thought that was the big gimme gotcha that Jesse was talking about, because I was like, wait a minute, is he breaking up with her? And then the way he worded it, then he was like, okay, well, I know
it was gonna be because they was having a wedding, they was getting married. I thought I thought they was gonna say they was already married, that they had,
Yes, that's what I
but
thought. I thought that's what they were going to say, that they, out where we actually got together, instead of this, well, we've been talking every night for 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 hours. That's not interesting to me, but okay, whatever. Or they already living together or something like that. But okay, so it was, y'all are together, great. I'm just, like I said, I'm glad that Teresa, Leslie did get her words out and
and she told him, "I
express
don't
her
forgive you."
feelings.
She said, "I don't forgive you for, I'm not, I'm not at a place of forgiveness. I'm all right, but I'm not
Yeah.
at a place of forgiveness." But according to the New York Post, on the show, Turner claimed that he hadn't been in a serious relationship since his wife died. However, a woman claims to have dated him and said that he is a liar, right? And he dumped her because she gained weight. She said the woman who spoke to the Hollywood Reporter and wanted to be identified only as Carolyn claimed she dated him for 10 months before moving into his home on Big Long Lake in Houston, Indiana. I mean, in Lake Hudson, Indiana. Carolyn says she moved in with Gerry in 2018, and the relationship came to a close ahead of his high school reunion in October of 2019. She said that he said this in quotes, "I'm not taking you to the reunion looking like that," gesturing to her body as she had gained 10 pounds due to stress. So Curlin claims she has suffered an injury after falling down some stairs while packing up her things, which resulted in a trip to the emergency room. She said that he apparently wasn't home at the time of the fall and allegedly blamed Carolyn for doing it on purpose in order to extend her stay in his home. She said, and they saying, this is different from what he has done anyway.
So no, so that makes sense, if because when he met Teresa, all he would say is, she fits so nicely in my arms. She's so, almost like she's so compact and pocket size, and she fits so well. He used to compliment how small she was every chance he got. So
Yeah,
maybe he has this thing about, he likes really small, petite women.
his
You
granddaughters
know,
ain't none of that, and I don't mean that in an offensive way, but both of his granddaughters
well, his daughters are big too.
and one daughter was a little fluffy. They was
And
fluffy.
I was so glad they did the widescreen, because for a minute I thought my eyes was tripping. I was thinking, wait, he got 4 daughters? I mean, if it's nothing else, his family got some strong genes, because I thought I was looking at 2 sets of twins. I was thinking, oh, holy crap, whose daughter? You know what I'm saying? Uh, is it one? Is it like, does each daughter have a daughter, or is it?
No, it just seems like to me that the daughter that had the dark hair, not the one that's blonde that looked like him,
Mhm.
it seemed like those are her two girls.
Okay, because they all favor very strongly. They got some strong features in the family. They all looking like Gerry, but he maybe does have something to do with, like a size complex. Maybe he likes, like I said, maybe he did pick Teresa because she's small or petite. If this is what his ex-girlfriend is saying, that, I don't know, but I knew Gerry was, like I said, when he was sitting up there telling all the women, I love you and I love you this and you my girl. He told, you my girl. He told more than one person, you my girl. And I'm just glad that Leslie was able to call him out on the carpet, let him know how she felt. And I'm glad she did it with her face beat to the gods, her hair nice,
Mhm.
a beautiful dress and some nice shoes, letting them know that whatever, I don't accept your apology. You lied. And, I'm just going to move on. Hopefully. I was hoping they would announce that she would have been the next Golden Bachelorette, but they didn't.
But you remember I was telling you I didn't think that they was gonna make it her.
I just don't know if they're going to make it anybody now, because you would think they would have announced it.
No, they doing it. They doing it. It's coming back. It's already been green lighted.
Well, I'll wait.
But it may be some things in Leslie's life. Remember, I told you I didn't think that it was even going to be Leslie. I thought that it would be either Faith or
Ella, do you think they'll have Susan, do you think Susan do the wedding, or do you think they'll have somebody else do the wedding? Because you know
Who is
Susan,
Susan?
she's the wedding officiant that looks like Chris Kardashian.
No, no. Teresa, if I was Teresa, I wouldn't want none of them getting no fame or no glory off my wedding day. They the past. They can show up and all of that kind of stuff if they fly them out there. But I wouldn't want her to officiate my wedding, and I would hope that they wouldn't either. She was a contestant. Her
Well,
competition, no, hell no.
Teresa got what she wanted. She got her man, so good luck.
And the thing about it is they look happy together.
Yeah,
They look
maybe.
very happy together. I just didn't watch this stuff because I just was like, I don't like when a person lies purposely and then says, I'm only human. I knew you was human from the beginning, right? I'm not dating someone who is not, right? But don't use it as an excuse. We all make mistakes and all of that old bull. No, you intentionally lied. And maybe she was a hot girl for him. He thought she was hot. They weren't really as compatible as as he thought. And Teresa was the safe answer. She was the safe. Let me find out, somebody done clicked the damn link. Hold on, Daddy, you got some company.
Hey, cousin Dana. Hey, Auntie.
Who is that?
Hey,
Pam,
Pam.
the devil's advocate.
Yeah, girl, she's coming up.
I was gonna
Child.
say I was trying
I
not to. I
no, go
mean,
ahead, go ahead. I'm ready to hear what you can say, so I can hop up right on down. Because I know I'm just walking in circles, so
no,
I'm ready to hear somebody else's opinion.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was just popping in real quick because I got a little alternative opinion. Besides, I do get to say I told y'all so because I picked Teresa a long time ago, but I ain't gonna go there. But I don't buy Leslie's devastation as much as she's putting off. And I'm listen, Auntie, I see your face. Leslie was so superficial. If you're going on this show as a contestant and you're really looking for a loving relationship, there's a reason why she's never had that forever after love and why her two marriages didn't make it. She's not, I don't want to say relationship material,
Ooh,
but she hasn't done some of the work that I think she needs to do. And
like what?
and that's
What?
what I'm saying. One of the reasons I'm saying that is her and Gerry, he had really chosen her, and I think he chose her because I told you Gerry was a dog. I mean, Gerry is player, and she was young, energetic. She was this 64-year-old, this fitness instructor. She gave him almost a lap dance at the talent show, and she's this person that had all this energy. So choosing her would have been him choosing some superficial love or what he thought was love, but it was really lust. Whereas Teresa was safe and they clicked more in their lives. I don't think it's just about Teresa success or her money, but him and Teresa had real relationship conversations. Him and Leslie did not. If you remember fantasy night when they went to dinner, before they went to the fantasy suite, and he was like, are you giving me a pass? Why haven't you asked me any hard questions? And she says, you want a hard question? When the last time you had sex? I was so disappointed in her.
Yeah, I
That
was
is not a hard
disappointed in her
question.
too.
That is not a hard question in building a relationship. You haven't asked them anything. I need to know your credit score. I need to know how you pay your bills. I need to know how you live. But it's like what she thought was a hard question was the last time you had sex. I'm like, you don't even understand. If you're talking about somebody you would want to propose to you and marry, but you didn't try to get to know him as an individual. So he had chose her. I think they went to that fantasy suite. They talked. They had a good time, and he was kind of like on her. But then he even said afterwards, it clicked with Teresa when they had their fantasy suite night and they really talked and got to know each other. I watched an interview with him and he said all the questions that I had in getting to know Teresa, she answered them before I could even ask them. She came in there ready to talk about Here's what I bring to the table. Here's what I'm looking for. Something totally different. Leslie didn't come with that. Teresa came looking for love. They both had, besides the same background, married 42 years or 43 years, 143, 142. That means they know relationships go through trials and tribulations. And they knew that you have to work together in order to have that lasting, loving relationship. Leslie was too surface, too superficial. I think she wanted to win. And if he had chose her, he wouldn't have been choosing her for the right reasons. And I think after the first night with her, he was leaning towards choosing her. And he even said he had chose her. But something changed when he spent that night with Teresa. And he said he fell in love with her by hour when in that fantasy suite night. And I see that. Him and Teresa is a real relationship. Him and Leslie, if they had gotten married, I would have gave them within a year they'd have been divorced.
You probably right. I'm gonna let you have that one.
You got me quiet. Thank you so much, Tam, for the 9.99 super chat. She said you're not alone, Pam. I feel like a lot of newbies on this show aren't as familiar with how it works. Well, tell us how it works, Tam.
Well, tell me, because I'm a newbie. You wait, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh yeah, you on mute. And I tried to unmute you, but it says I can't do it. So you got to unmute yourself.
I feel like I'm listening to Chelsea. I'm gonna hop down if I start laughing. That was messy, wasn't it?
Dana, you so wrong.
Eh.
I just feel like I guess you was right. I mean, I guess you're right. I did hear, and I think it was Dana that told me that she used to date Prince, and somebody else comment that she dated Prince.
She said that in her opening. She said that when she first got there on open that she used to date Prince. She was told the ladies that I think on the first night.
Well, she said she'd been married twice before, so she had to do something to get them two marriages. So maybe there were two lasting marriages.
But they only lasted 7 years each.
Oh, okay, 7 year itch. So she in there hit it and quit it. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
That's what I say. She don't come in with any depth in a relationship.
Okay, I'm gonna hop down so Tam can talk because we ain't heard from her in a long while.
You the resident expert. No, Dana, you staying up
You
here.
gotta stay. You just mute. Go ahead, Tam.
Can you hear me this time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean for my comment to be demeaning in any way, so I hope it didn't come off that way. I just feel like
It wasn't.
I've watched this since the first season. Off and on, there's been 2 or 3 seasons I didn't watch, but I feel like, especially this whole season is reminding me of when they had the first Black Bachelorette, and a whole lot of Black people started
Right.
watching the show for the first time, and people were like, "I don't understand how you can have all these different people kissing
You
and
talking
making."
about Rachel.
Yes, and this reminds me of that because now I have to say I was a little surprised with all the women he was kissing and all of that, but because they don't usually do all that right in the beginning. But these are older people, so people do things in a different way. But to piggyback off of what Pam said, I don't think I'm not gonna say she was being fake or anything, but Leslie is putting 20 on 10. And at the end of the day, you have to understand, you knew the entire time this man was dating another woman. So it doesn't matter what he said to you. You have a responsibility to know within yourself that this could change at any time, because I don't know what he's saying and doing with somebody else. We all date traditionally, most of us anyway, and we're not dating somebody that's dating multiple people. But when you sign up to do this show, it's in your face the entire time that this man is not just about you. So it's happened so many different times where women will get, or I won't even say they'll act devastated, but it's like you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. So she's like, "You led me on." No, you led yourself on. That's the way I saw it. You are
But the
leading
thing is, let me tell you why I just want to challenge that.
Go ahead.
When you look at Love is Blind and other places like other shows like that, where you're isolated, right? You're isolated from the world. You have no outside influence. You don't have a cell phone. You don't have anything that connects you. You're in this and you're looking at it differently because this is your whole life for weeks. So your perception and your ability to be rational and to really things out is skewed because the science of it is I'm going to isolate you, put you in this unreal world where you don't have any connection to the outside world and you got to make a decision. Things sound and look different. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but I still don't think that's an excuse because all the women went through the same thing. Now, as they got closer
And they
with him
all was
and
in
spent
love with
more,
his ass.
say it again.
They all were in love with him weeks
Yeah, but
before.
nobody else is acting like the world has come to an end because he didn't pick them. To me, when she was sitting on that stage, and like I said, I don't want to say her tears were fake. I don't believe they were fake, but I also believe that she was lying to herself. And then by saying, I won't share what we talked about, you just did. You just insinuated the man did something shady behind the scenes. She didn't even have to say that. It's just like, lady, you know it's over. You know the man is engaged to another woman. Why are you choosing to use this time? You can use the time to talk about how hurt you are, but go on and just wish the man well, okay? Because it's not like he's going to come and what. Okay, you're absolutely right. I'm going to choose you. To me, that was just a way to handle that situation. Whereas, I mean, like I said, everybody's so emotional about it, and I'm kind of like, okay, this happens every single season. People get so emotional, and like they're team this and team that, and it's perfectly fine to be that way. I just think that if you've been watching this show for a while,
I've been
the
watching this
same thing happens.
forever.
There's always some ex-girlfriend that comes out the woodwork with some kind of story about how he did me dirty and he did, and I'm not saying that he probably wasn't a player. He probably was. But even if he was, if he left you to go do a reality show, then that tells you just about how much you meant to the man. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but just swallow it and move on. What do you get out of trying to expose him? He's still getting married January 4th. You see what I mean? It's like whoever these, it's actually two women that came forward this week. And I just feel like, why? Why do women do this to themselves every single time? Maybe you get something out of exposing them, but to me, the end result is nothing's really going to change.
True.
You
True.
put
You
out
still
there
gonna
that
be
he
with
did you
Teresa.
dirty, but it doesn't change. So I just think I was a little shocked because I felt like, but you know what? I told my mom, I said, you know what I love the most about this show this season were the women. I
Yeah.
loved how secure most of those women were,
Yeah.
how they were living their absolute best lives all season. Almost all of them. That Women Tell All episode was probably one of the best Women Tell Alls I've seen.
Yeah, it was.
I love seeing them. So I said, it's not really to me about Gerry. I've heard that it's going to be Joan, but I don't know. That's who I keep hearing. They're wanting to choose. And I want to go back to something Pam said because a friend of mine that's a producer or a former producer at ABC said the reason Leslie probably won't get picked is not necessarily that she used to dance for Prince, but there's just a pattern of behavior with her relationships that they're not thinking that she will actually get a husband, you know, and they want somebody that they know for sure is going to get engaged, and they're not sure that she would be one to be engaged by the end of the season. And Joan was actually, they were on the fence about Joan because she left the show to be with her daughter, remember? And so they don't want somebody that's not going to last, that's going to, sign all the paperwork, do all the work that needs to be done to get on the show and then leave for something. They understand it, but they have to think as business people. Are we really going to be able to sell it? See, they were able to sell it with Gerry. And
So it's
so
just going to be Ellen's, what you saying?
that she's definitely one of the finalists, but they haven't made a decision yet. The whole thing with Gerry getting exposed this week threw a lot of people off. They weren't expecting all that to come out. Some producers knew about it, but they were hoping everything would be done. The show would have already aired, and they didn't expect all that to be a distraction because they
Oh,
almost brought it
what?
up. I was hearing they almost brought it up during the live, and they decided to just let him because he gave statements. What was it, 2 days ago? He had already started responding like to networks and stuff like that about
You
it, but
talking
they
about
didn't.
his job and all of that?
Yeah,
Wait a
and
minute. Wait a minute. About what job? Was Did we
Teletext.
miss something?
so they're saying that, or they're not saying. So the report, the same one that Auntie just read from, talked about the fact that he wasn't necessarily a restaurateur as they were promoting him as. Like he owned a burger joint like back in the 90s, sold it, and he's done like mediation work and maintenance work all this time. Like he hasn't been a restaurateur. Like restaurateur means you own like a chain. He has never really done that.
Oh,
So they were trying to say that he got exposed for, lying about that, but turns out ABC did that. He wasn't necessarily lying about his career. They just decided to put that title on him and
well, we
promote
knew
him.
he was because we talked about that all season. Like, well, what's it gonna be? Because he's taking the women out on dates on ABC's dime, and how they gonna what kind of dates they're gonna be sitting on the dock of the bay, swinging their feet, fishing. We knew that was they're not gonna be riding in the helicopter. That's probably why they kept them in the house
Yeah.
most of the time cooking because that's what they're gonna be doing in like real life.
No, me to laugh.
But yeah, so anyway, I think like my main point is just like don't get too emotional over this stuff. These people know exactly what they're doing. And while I don't think Leslie was lying, I also think she was very strategic in what she wanted to show on that live show last night. Was it last night? Thursday night, yeah. So she's not naive to this. If she
See,
Ooh.
Becky said, Dana, he's poor.
Well, we knew that. I'm just
I
glad Tam
seen
came
that.
with the.
I
Yeah, I'm
seen
just.
that from the giddy up. I
yeah.
was just like, I want to know what kind of money you got, not just
Yeah,
fantasy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
because people's like, oh, he built a big mansion
And all
on the
that.
beach
Yeah,
No.
they had
out
a whole
there.
season that they had this dude. They were trying to promote him like he was a prince, and he wasn't. They've had
Yeah.
they've had so many seasons where they
Wait
were
a minute,
promoting.
hold on.
He was what was his last name? Oh, I can't remember now. I see his face, but I can't think of his name. But turns out his family had like a tire business or something. It was like it
Ooh,
happens
oof.
every season. Something gets exposed.
Did
So it's
you
just
see
like
what Pam got in the Pam? Pam said he make
I knew Pam would do the research. I knew Pam would do the research, and I'm glad Tam clicked on with her friends and know somebody of the friends.
well, I work in public relations, so I do know a lot of people that work in TV, and so
See,
some of this this is about money. This is about money,
yeah. Well,
and
we
he
knew
was
that he
willing
wasn't gonna be doing no extravagant dates
Oh my
after the
God, you
date.
can
So,
cry.
and you know what? That makes sense. Why? What sealed the deal? Probably for him and Teresa, because Teresa came and said when she said she worked in security, I'm thinking, what is she like the security like at the department store? But when she sat at the table and started talking about she works in like security,
tired.
she'd have did some, some marketing and day trading and shit. That perked
Mhm.
him right on up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And
he
that's
that
what people are saying too, that they think he married her for her money.
Yeah.
oh, it all makes sense now. She's petite and she's good with the savings. Oh,
Pam said that he met her while he was doing maintenance.
that makes a lot of sense right there. So okay.
Women
And
aren't
that's
the only
why
ones looking for security.
he got excited when they was going to, Italy. He jumped up faster than she could. We're talking
Yeah.
about going to Italy.
Mhm.
So okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that makes sense. Thank you.
So do y'all believe what's going on in the tabloids, or what is your insider saying?
I think there's always some truth in it, right? He's probably not good with money. He probably did date other women. He actually responded and said that he told all the women in the house that he had had a relationship, a long term relationship. So they film these shows, they have scripts for them to read. I know I ain't got to tell you that kind of stuff, and so he told the women in the house the truth. And they all knew that he had lived with someone and that this is nothing new to the women. So he was
So this
almost like saying, like, I know that they promoted this show and promoted me a certain way, but I told these women the truth about who I was. That's sort of the way I read the statement when he made it, like I said, 2, 3 days ago when all this stuff first hit. So I believe there's some truth to it. I believe people overdo it and they just run with stories. And like I said, unfortunately, these ex-girlfriends just cannot move on because I don't understand what the purpose in trying to expose
I
them is.
think it just be jealousy, and,
Yeah.
and and then depending on how the relationship. When you see a man that's a fraud, you want to tell everybody that he's a fraud,
Yeah.
right? And it's hard, I'm sure, to be quiet and not say this man is a fraud.
Yeah, I'm just
Well,
thinking they should be happy they dodged a bullet. If you really feel that way, be happy you dodged a bullet. But most women and Teresa, Leslie, Faith, in their position, they're not gonna believe it because all they're gonna see is that you just want to ruin this relationship because you ain't with him no more.
Yeah,
right. And his favorite activity is pickleball. Y'all know pickleball is free.
I think about Obama and that lady that dated Obama in college that tried to, say he wasn't even straight and all this kind of stuff, and he only married Michelle because he knew he needed a black wife to succeed. That's very convenient for you to say.
yeah,
That's very convenient for you to say that. You just mad because it didn't work out between you two. It happens all the time. But I got some exes. I wouldn't want to see them be successful in life, but I ain't finna try to ruin them.
me either.
It's just not. I'm
Me
past it.
either.
You really have to just get over stuff and move on with your life.
And the only time that I would say something about an ex is if the person reached out to me and asked me, and then I would be very high level with the information that I did give, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that pillow talk is the strongest talk on earth,
Hmm.
right? It has brought down kingdoms, all kinds of stuff, right? It has brought down all kinds of kingdoms and empires, right? So what we ain't gonna do is run after you. But if you come to me and you happen to say, hey, I understand you dated X, Y, and Z, you got any advice? It's gonna be very high level because people want to believe what they want to believe, even if they know the lie sitting right in front of them.
Right. Right. That's part of it. And then sometimes you can't prevent somebody from changing either. Just because someone mistreated you doesn't mean they're going to mistreat somebody else.
True. Very,
People have a
very true.
right to redeem themselves and move on. So sometimes it's not even worth it to go there because the person may be a different person.
True.
So if you living in the past, don't try to bring them back there with you.
True.
Yep.
True. Now that is true. Well, I tell you what, y'all the show gave us the tea because I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, it gives you a different perspective of looking at it, but I mean, I think that it was really devastating that he lied to her, period. And I
Yeah.
do know that they talk about the psyche, right, of being in isolation all the time. That's a long time. You don't know what's real and what's not. That's why they were so happy to go on dates and stuff like that, just to get the fuck out the house and off the bunk bed.
Very true. Very true.
Just to get off those bunk beds, they wanted to go out.
Yeah.
well, I guess, like I said, we know what it is now. So I'm glad that Teresa got what she wanted. Now that's her problem.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary. Probably ain't had a decent haircut since he hit that show. So,
My mama was looking at it because she refused to watch it. And she was like, "What's up with all that hair on his face? He need to shave or something." I was like,
Yeah,
that
because
man,
when he was sitting there, even talking to the guy, and he was like, I haven't been this devastated since my wife died. He looked rough then. He looked like an alcoholic.
yeah,
He
he
looked
got him
real rough. I was
a
like, God,
haircut,
you been drinking?
some highlights, some bleaching,
And he
a
couldn't
good
even
facial,
fake
some
it. He,
skincare.
he couldn't even fake it. It really showed who he was because, with that fake, well, let's toast. Your wine, my wine, our wine. Well, he was talking to Leslie, and,
mm-hmm.
and he was like, let's do it over. You, me, I, we, they, there. I said, bitch, if you don't stop this stuff, you don't like her.
Yeah.
You're not picking her. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that he did come back and say something. I don't know if that was produced because she was such an older woman.
Well, I want to say I think he pushed that because they always push the formal rejection where the
Yeah.
woman walks up there and they have to tell her to her
Yeah.
face that I didn't pick you, and he didn't do that to her. So I will say good for him for ending it there and not making her go through that because that always comes off to me as just so wrong.
And then
Like,
you just drop them in a car.
yeah, no. So I feel like, he may have asked them if I can just let her go tonight so she doesn't even have to go through this tomorrow.
Okay.
that may have been the way that went. And then of course they make them put those dresses on because that's how they promote the finale, right? He's got to choose between these two. So that had to be rough, you know. But from
sixty
my it's my
thousand
understanding
dollars
they don't
for
even pay for that dress. You know, she said 60,000. She didn't pay no $60,000. She didn't pay for that dress. She picked it out, I'm sure, but I doubt she even had to come out of her pocket with anything.
Well, I'm glad that when Teresa said, I can't run and jump on you, I thought, thank you, Lord Jesus, for the producers with the run and jump. God, Teresa cannot run and jump on to Gerry tonight. Ooh, child, that made me so happy when she could not do the run and jump tonight. Child.
I just did not even watch the proposal. After he did that, I just
Yeah, it wasn't that great. He played like a little joke on her the way he did it, and I was like, okay, nah, you don't do that. But the whole thing with Leslie reminded me of this one season when this
she about
guy
to
was
do a
letting
damn
this girl
prenup.
go, and she looked at him and she was like, "After everything we did, you gonna just
Yeah.
send me home?" I remember that season, and you know, like I said, they all do it. They do it. They do it every season. There's somebody that feels like you lied to me. You led me to believe that there was more going on here,
Yeah,
and
because I remember somebody that went home because they didn't do anything in the fantasy suite. It's been all kinds of stuff that's going
mhm.
on.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't the fantasy suite. I think that I would be like that other young lady, and I can't remember what season that was. When she read the card, she was like, "No,
yeah.
no, I don't want to do the fantasy suite."
Yeah. Well, there was one guy, Sean Lowe. His was one of my favorite seasons, but he didn't sleep with either one. He wrote a book about his experience on the show, and he was the born again Christian, and he said that he wasn't going to do it, and they sat up all night and talked, and I mean, we'll never know if he's telling the truth or not, but I have a feeling he was telling the truth. You don't
Yeah,
have to sleep together. A lot of them have said that they just like having no cameras around because that's one of the things that happens. The cameras will leave you alone. And
Somebody asked if the Bachelor pays for the rings, and I think that's
no,
no, that's like a
no,
sponsor through one of the
Neil
all
Lane,
that,
yeah.
all that stuff is paid.
Neil Lane, he usually makes an appearance on the finale. I didn't see him
Yeah,
last night though, but
yeah,
that's who.
deliver them.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was good for what it was. So we know Gary's broke, not broke, but he's
He
he's
ain't
a,
rolling
he's
in
a
dough. I tell you
handyman.
that.
He's a handyman,
Mm-hmm.
jack of all trades.
That's what I say. He picked the right woman for him. I
Hmm.
believe it. There's real something there. Whether it's like this
Yeah, because
love
money
of a
is real,
lifetime
and
love, I don't know, but I
money
think
is real, and money problems are real. So yeah, there's some real stuff going on. I say he a gold digger, but
hmm
he ain't messing with no broke. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, hmm
Mm-mm. And men do that stuff too.
yeah, that's what I said. Men
And
look for
why is
security.
Pam still asking if do you think Gary slept with both of them? Now, Pam, we know it don't even matter no more. Advocate Pam,
Probably, I think he
Probably so.
probably
I
did.
think he did.
Yeah,
he did some with both of them.
I
If
think
not, I think
he did.
he's had a happy ending. Maybe he just had a nice massage with Teresa, because Teresa says she's a good kisser.
mm.
Well, what was she talking about kissing though?
Child.
Teresa a whole lot of freaking her.
She had that red lipstick. I said, look at Teresa with her lipstick on,
Yeah, you
child.
never know. You never know.
You don't, and you know what? When you get to be a certain age, you don't care anymore
hmm
what people think about, what you do in the bedroom. You get past all of those finger pointing and all. You just do you.
Yeah,
You just do you.
yeah.
But the granddaughters didn't like her. They was uncomfortable. When she said she knocked his boots and all that, the granddaughters was like, okay, how dare you? But it is what it is.
Yeah, you got him now. Got
Agree.
him.
We'll just wait to hear who the bachelorette's going to be. I can't wait to find out. And
Yeah.
you know what I did not like? I did not like, before we close and end this live, I did not like that cheap gold rose. Just do a regular fucking red rose. That rose was so cheap looking.
Well, they had to push the narrative, the golden.
Then they should have did it the whole season.
Yeah, you're right, but I think that was the whole point.
That
And
thing was so cheesy. I would not have wanted them to have no picture with me holding that like the generic Statue of Liberty. No, I didn't like that
ABC
at
is very
all.
happy right now. ABC is very happy.
Oh,
I thought it was, if nothing else, they pushed the family narrative because I
Mm,
said they brought the whole family out for the
yeah, they did.
Gary family they got the vacation experience. They got Teresa's family just got to come out on the stage. Gary's family got to stay in Puerto Rico and Costa Rica.
Yeah, they sure did.
I'd be like, I got cheated. Why did I get to go to Costa Rica and come on out with the?
yeah.
So I mean, it's over.
I enjoyed it. Like I said,
Yeah,
I
I did
enjoyed the
too.
wedding.
I did. No, don't get it twisted. I absolutely enjoyed it.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of
I
waiting to
love the
see the
women.
wedding now. I want to see her dress now, and I bet you Gary will cry through the whole thing.
Maybe.
Do y'all think Leslie will ever come out with something, or do y'all think she'll keep her mouth shut about
Mm-mm.
what they talked about? Y'all think she'll be like quiet and gone about
I
her
think she's
business?
a semi-attention whore, and I think that she's gonna say something.
Yeah. Like I said, whatever it is, it's probably not even that serious. Because, like I said, it just, to me, it was petty for her to even bring it up. She brought it up by not bringing it up. I won't share with everybody what we talked about. Well, obviously, it's something. You just want to be messy. You just want to be messy. Let it
Now,
go. Leave
I
it
agree
alone.
with that.
She's
Now
a
I
beautiful older woman.
absolutely
She'll
agree with
be able,
that.
almost all of them are talking about how they're dating and getting DMs and everything. Just enjoy the fact that you were able
Yeah,
to do something like this. Just enjoy it. I love seeing these women have a blast.
I do too.
That was the best part of the whole show to me.
Especially Zip It, because I would love to see Zip It. They're dating somebody. Kathy,
Yes, all
would
of them.
love
I
to
I
can't
see
think
it.
of
love how
one I didn't like.
they keep putting Zip It and Chris next to each other. It's like, can't y'all separate them now? Every time you see them together, you're gonna be thinking they go Chris and Caitlin, Chris and Caitlin.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was great, and I
Yeah.
think that it does for us older women. It does inspire you or have you think at least for an hour. Maybe 30 minutes,
hmm
maybe 25. Let me say 25 minutes that I could find love and that I would be interested in love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this
hmm
age, and that it's not too late to find somebody. So I think that it instilled a lot of hope in a lot of women and men.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
just hope the security in those women rubs off on the younger ones too. I loved how those women were secure about themselves. That was what I would wish on some of these younger ones that come on this show. Because I tell you what, they act like the world is coming to an end because one man isn't interested, and I just half of them is like, you don't even know this dude.
True,
That's
but
why
I'm
most of
telling you,
them
I
break
think it
up.
got
Most
a
of them break
lot to
up
do
because
with
once
the
they actually get
psyche.
to know one another, they don't even like the person.
But I'm telling you, it's isolation.
hmm But they sign up for it. At this point, to me, that's
No,
not
I
even an
understand
excuse
that. I
anymore.
understand that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying when you're isolated, whether
hmm
in war or voluntarily, your mind is different. It's
Yeah.
going to process information because you're in isolation and
Yeah.
you're cut off, just like Big Brother. Stuff that people do in
Oh,
Big Brother,
yeah.
they would never do that stuff in Big Brother. But because you in that house, that's your whole life. Your psyche
Mhm.
is going to be different because you are in isolation.
Yeah.
And
Well,
once you get to be head of household on Big Brother, and everybody coming to your room, and you just don't have no peace all day long, like that has got to mess with your psyche big time. I applied to be on Big Brother
did
years,
you? Whew.
years,
Nah, I couldn't do that one. I'd like to do the Amazing Race, but I would never do Big Brother. I know I'd be
years
gone.
ago.
Oof.
As
It's
soon as they told me to eat something, I'd be out of both them shows. I'd be like,
That's
I'm out.
slop.
yeah, that's flop room.
Here goes
Yeah,
some of
I would
these
never do Survivor
bugs.
because
I'm
I ain't
out.
starving for nobody. I ain't starving for nobody. I watch
Well, I would
Survivor,
go
but
there
I
for
would
some
never
good
want to do
weight
that one.
loss, child. If I came back as a size 2, I'd be happy. I would go to Survivor. I used to think that I would do that just to lose weight.
They do lose weight. They do lose weight.
Big time.
I couldn't do it. Mm-mm.
I'd catch a hot flash, be like, ooh, I'm out.
That's wonderful. Well, ladies, thank you all so much for coming up. And
Well, this was fun.
It
It was
was.
good to see you, Tam.
It was
Thank
good to
you.
hear from you too.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
see that
Okay.
little ugly dog, baby. She got up there one day.
She ready?
One day that little ugly dog baby's gonna come over there.
I can't find nothing to
Yeah, I
replace her
feel like
with.
every time I come on, I'm in the bed. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm in the bed again. I go
Child,
to
that's the
bed
best
early.
place to be. That's the best place to be. But I gotta get ready and come out here in the next 5-10 minutes and do Sister Wives season 18,
Oh,
episode
I'll be on that
15.
one. I'll be on that one.
Yup,
All right.
give me about 5 or 10 minutes. Love y'all.
All right. Good night,
Bye.
y'all. Bye, everybody.
So y'all, let me know down in the comments section what y'all think about this. The season is over, and now we just gotta wait for the wedding. That's gonna be happening on January 4th. And let's see who is going to be the next Golden Bachelorette or the first Golden Bachelorette. And I hope they pick good. And I swear, I hope they got some quality men that are not coming on here looking like somebody's great goddamn grandfather. We want some good quality men, okay, to be representing for the Golden Bachelorette. Love y'all so much. Thank you, Pam, Tam, and Dana for coming up. I will be back. Love y'all.